Welcome to Tarot Down Under. I'm going to provide a general reading for the general audience. If the message that comes out resonates with you, please listen carefully and take away what you can. If the message doesn't resonate with you, just leave what doesn't and take away what does. If it doesn't sound like it's a message that's necessarily for you, there could still be messages and information that's worth hearing and something you could use in your own journey and your own life and your own self-improvement. So feel free to join in, and if you do like the video, please give it a like, hit the thumbs up, notification, and subscribe if you can. That'd be great. And so there is a new moon at this point in time, so the devil is coming out. The devil's coming out here. The devil speaks of addiction, our shadow self, that more undesirable side of our personality. Or it could be speaking of an individual that you're dealing with. Someone that's creating problems in your life. Or it could be referring, again, addiction and issues that you may be struggling with yourself. It's going to resonate differently with everyone. Just if it's starting to kind of ring true with you in terms of you feel issues with a certain individual that you're dealing with, or group of people, it often does speak about, I guess, unhealthy relationships between individuals, as you can see on the card here. It's it's very much about sexual desire as well. I guess those things, those sinful, the 7 deadly sins, I guess, is very synonymous with the devil. Greed, lust, addiction, and adultery, things that we don't want in our life, basically. So following this devil card, we have the Tower and the 5 Cups. So this appears to be speaking of an ending, which is great, which is really positive. It does appear that there has been some negativity, some undesirable circumstances surrounding yourself, whether it be things you're dealing with or someone else you're dealing with, or a combination of the two. I guess we're going to be susceptible to these darker energies and people if we have something in ourselves that's not in control and that's being allowed to dictate who we are and the decisions we make. So, I guess we're never completely innocent when it comes to unhealthy relationships. We're accepting of them, even if we are the victim in the situation where we've enabled or allowed someone to come in and take advantage of us. We may do this subconsciously, we may do this unconsciously, but it is something that we do have some degree of control over to some extent. As long as we find these things out and deal with them at some stage, then it's fine, and lessons can be learned. And the difficult situation or the undesirable situation can be as important as a desirable situation or outcome, in the sense that we can learn lessons, we can take away knowledge, information, and feelings that allow us to develop ourselves for personal growth. This Tower is certainly indicating disruption, chaos, endings to some extent, but certainly disruption and change. And that can be for the good. And in this reading, in this case, it does very much appear to be for the good if you are dealing with the devil or darker kind of ideas, thoughts, behaviors, situations. And we obviously want to kind of address those as soon as possible to get into healthy ways of living and being. 5 of Cups here suggests that, you know, this was an emotional relationship with someone, or, you know, there's 3 cups down. So what it does indicate is that there's not just 2 people involved. And I guess any unhealthy relationship will have multiple people involved in various ways, you know. And they need to have other people involved in some capacity. And that doesn't have to be other romantic partners, but just friends or accomplices, people who support this negative behavior, who are also involved with this negative behavior. So, look, it's not a great loss in terms of some significant and important relationship being lost. And, you know, the 2 cups behind you indicate that there is more on the horizon. The 2 cups lead to this promised land, if you like, in the background, which you're at this stage not perhaps completely focused on. You are dealing with this fallout, this ending, the chaos of a situation that is just not desirable and something that had to be dealt with, and it was never going to be a pretty ending. So we'll just gather some more energy and direction in terms of what this reading is suggesting for us. Okay, so we've got the 7 of Pentacles coming out, which does speak of a pause in efforts, whether that just be your life generally or in this relationship. But certainly I think it's more of a generalized meaning, in the sense that, you know, there are things in life that we do need to address to accomplish good results in other areas of our life. So taking a holistic approach to improving your situation and relationships is what's going to be required, and it looks like, and it appears that you are in a position at the moment where you realize that that's the case, and you're pausing and you're taking the time and effort to get in touch with yourself. The Empress speaks of that is the divine feminine, you know, really strong, wise, and capable energy. So you're tapping into your higher self, which is exactly what you need to be doing in this situation. Spirit, can we just get another card to finalize this little pyramid of cards that we have out at the moment? So we've got 2 cards jumping out. Okay, that the ending that we clearly have seen kind of come out here is supported by the 5 of Swords, which speaks of an ending where conflict was involved, and it's a kind of lose-lose or even a win-win situation, if you like. The point is that there was no clear result, no clear winners or clear losers. It's just conflict has arisen, and the results of that conflict and the reasons and causes of that conflict will be out in the open to be dealt with by the individuals that are in line with certain karma or results that occur from certain behaviors. 3 of Pentacles speaks of collaboration and working together. So if you can focus on things that are going to take you forward at this stage, that's recommended. So whether it be work or projects or hobbies, just something that will constructively put your mind to use and get you back in line with yourself and where you need to be in life, back on your track, back in line with your journey. So you know, the new moon does, I guess, offer that chance for reflection and starting off with a clean slate into the new cycle. You know, the energy is quite balanced in the sense that the full moon is an energy where everything comes to light. So with a new moon, it's a good time to start taking steps towards achieving things that you may have been wanting to deal with for a while but haven't been in a position to, or felt like it was the right time, now is a really good time to take forward, to take swift action in addressing things that you know need addressing. And this Eight of Wands does suggest that there's going to be forward movement. You may be struggling with the situation to some extent. You may realize that you've lost out in some regards as much as you've gained from a situation, which, I guess in life we're looking to gain from situations that we put ourselves into. And I think that's something that we can be in denial of. When something's not going in our favor, we try and look for the silver lining, and often there is a silver lining, but maybe that's all it is, a silver lining, and that the bulk of the situation that you have been through was unpleasant and wasn't pretty. I'm going to move on to this new deck, this second deck. I do use the 3 tarot decks, and I will move on to this second one, which is the Zendao Tarot. It's a little bit different to the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot deck that I use in 2 different forms, an original and a vintage version. So let's see if these images can kind of provide any, I guess, unique details and insights into what's going on for you at this stage. Ace of Swords and Temperance. So I think you've got a lot of control now in terms of where your life's going, which is really good. I mean, I think you've been through a situation where you haven't had much control. So at the beginning stage of any journey, there's always going to be a desire to kind of get on the road and have that fresh start. And it looks like that's where you're at now. So that's great. Take the most out of this situation, make the most of this situation. Be patient, use temperance to, slowly cultivate what you want in this next chapter. Use that higher self. Don't be quick to race in thinking you know who you are and you know what you want. Do that deeper work within yourself to kind of stand away from, as you can see, the spirit or the shadow or the higher self above the individual. Use your ability to distance yourself from situations to see them for what they are more clearly, and decide on courses of action which are going to bring you the best outcomes for yourself. Use that intellect to make the decision, balance that with the emotion that you can see in this card in the water here, with the 1 foot in the water and 1 foot in earth. We've got the air. Balance these things out. This flower could certainly represent passion, that fire energy as well. Use all those elements to guide you forward, and do so in a loving, nurturing way that's in line with who you are and what you want. Stop settling for second best, or settling for what might be, and look for what is. So the Empress is coming out again. I think that higher self that I've been speaking of, that you can tap into, is something that you should keep doing, and it looks like you are. It's going to illuminate a lot of things for you. It's going to give you a clear perspective in terms of who you are and what you want. 6 of Cups is coming out, so that childlike energy. Get in touch with your younger spirit, your younger self, that child inside, and embrace that. Get in contact with friends and family, those who make you feel youthful, those who kind of bring out the best of you, and a mix of you in terms of all those aspects of your personality. Don't be afraid to mingle and interact with those that are going to bring out varying aspects of yourself, because that's what's going to help you get in touch with that core self, that core self of who you are and what you want. Page of Wands is that kind of fiery energy that we take into a new endeavor. You can see the gem in the chest space or sacral chakra of this individual here. It's illuminated. It's illuminated with that energy that we have at the beginning of a new journey. So feed that. I think it's starting to develop and fire up and glow inside of you. So make sure you feed that and allow the people around you to either feed that, and if they don't, then don't allow them to affect that negatively. Don't allow them to dim your light or your flame. I feel like you're in a really good space right now, and you've come through some difficult times. I think that's a great position to be in. I can relate to that myself. I guess, towards the end of the year, end of cycles, end of different things kind of happening, finishing, beginning, a lot of change and a lot of opportunity to have fresh starts and do things in line with our higher self and in line with who and what we want to see and be. Strength. So, dig into that kind of that core strength of yours to push through and maintain this good trajectory that it will be available at the beginning of this new start. I feel this start is a personal start. I feel like it's a new you. I feel like it's a new way of you respecting yourself and being in the world. And that can be in line with family, friends, career. Can be in line with many things, but I think the new self is what counts in all of those aspects: friends, relationships, jobs, pursuits, hobbies, sports. There has been some heartbreak, and you need to rationalize that and understand what that is, why that happened, what that meant. If there's any healing that's required, take it on. Two of Swords speaks of decisions or options, two different paths. Listen to yourself and try and consider both paths and options and perhaps a middle ground. Just take time. If you are struggling with a decision at the moment, there's no rush to make this decision. There's no rush to make any decision really until we've made it. And I think that, that happens quite naturally a lot of the time. So just really practice patience at this point in time. I see justice coming out here. Your hard work and efforts are going to pay off. Seven of Cups speaks of options. You're gonna have all the stars are going to be aligning. King of Pentacles is coming out after the Seven of Cups, so you're going to be in a strong position in terms of finances and material resources. Ten of Pentacles, you're going to be in a really strong position. Ten of Cups, Six of Pentacles. So, you've got really good prospects on the horizon. I feel that you just need to just keep tapping into yourself. You have all the answers and you know them. It's not like you even really need a great deal of guidance when it comes to your situation at the moment. I think what you do need is just the support in knowing that it's okay to take your time. Be patient with yourself and patient with the people and circumstances around you. I think at this stage of the reading, that's what is important. Practice that self-love, listen to yourself, be kind to yourself and respect. Give yourself that respect. A cycle's just ended. A new one's beginning. Take the time to finish that cycle and prepare yourself for this new cycle, this new journey, this new stage and phase of your life. It's really important that you do this. It's really important that you take time to reflect on what's finished, accept that it's finished, move on to that new cycle with a clarity and a freshness of being in a position where the past is no longer hanging around and affecting you negatively, so that wheel of fortune can start turning and life can start moving in the right direction for you. I think you've been through a lot at this stage, and it's going to take some time to get this new phase of life happening, but I feel that you've got a really strong, stable, and fortunate phase or cycle coming in. I think it's a time now for reflection, just self-love, kindness to yourself and others, and just getting into a good headspace, working on yourself and preparing to go from tough situations that have caused a lot of strife, a lot of agitation, and drain of energy. And just know that going into this next chapter of your life, it's not going to be as hard. That's what this card's suggesting here. Six of Swords, going from rough waters to smooth waters. I think that a lot of us have been through a lot of difficult kind of stages of personal kind of growth and life circumstances over the last weeks, months and years, and that there's some good things on the horizon, a lot of positivity that's going to come in, and things are going to get easier, not harder at this stage. So don't be afraid of being vulnerable to being not 100% prepared for future events, because they're going to be a lot friendlier. They're going to be a lot more forgiving, giving, and enjoyable and smooth. It's not going to require as much effort. So just be in a position, be in a place where you're ready for good things, smooth waters, and better times. High Priestess. I'm going to finish on the High Priestess. The High Priestess, when it comes to advice or energy from the High Priestess, it's a very formalized way of being spiritual and being in a position of authority, whether that's spiritual or in the 3D realms. I think that the High Priestess is very married up in terms of balance when it comes to the spiritual world, the 5D, the 3D. They're a master, right? They're a master of how life works and how you can make life work for yourself. Very connected. They don't miss much. Not too much goes past them, if anything. You're going to be sitting in that energy where it's just, have confidence in yourself and know that you have a lot of ability, and that you can make the right decisions when you need to end things, or when you need to begin, have those new beginnings come in and be managed in an appropriate way. Just have that self-confidence that you have done a lot to get to where you're at, and it's positioned you so that you can really make the most of what's going to come your way, and it's going to be good, and you're going to be good. So look, I think this reading's just a positive reading of an ending cycle, a cycle that had to be closed out, and you've just been preparing yourself to do so. You're doing so. Take the time to do it in your own time, in your own way, and take whatever action you need to make sure that you're okay for that ending and for this new beginning that's coming in. If the video has resonated with you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I do get readings out about every 3 days or so at this stage, so I look forward to connecting with you as soon as I can to provide more readings and insight into circumstances and situations that you very well may be dealing with in your life, and I guess giving some more clarity around how to handle situations, different perspectives on how we can think and work our way through life and its challenges and its triumphs, which I see on the cards for you. I see that a lot of challenges have been overcome and triumphs are on the horizon and good times. So it's a positive reading, and I hope you're all well, and I'll leave you with that, and I'll speak to you on the next video. Bye.